So guys, today we're going to be checking out these things. What on earth are they? Well, they're RGB cables, which of course you need for your PC because everyone knows more RGB equals more FPS. Now these are made by Lian Li, they're called the Strimer Plus, and yes, they did send these out to me, so cheers guys. You can get them in 24-pin and 8-pin variants. They are extensions, so they plug into your existing PSU cables. In the 24-pin box, you get a 24-pin extension cable, an RGB controller with a bunch of cool effects built into it, an instruction manual, and finally all the necessary cables to connect up the RGB. If you'd rather sync the lighting up to your motherboard, they do provide a cable for that as well. Personally, I always think built-in effects are better, but I'll get onto that later. In the 8-pin box, you get an 8-pin extension cable, an instruction manual, along with another cable to allow you to connect it to your motherboard if you so wish. Just bear in mind that only the 24-pin cable comes bundled with the RGB controller. Now these aren't the first attempt from Lian Li at RGB cables, these are technically Gen 2 and it shows. The first version of the Strimer cables looked a bit prototypey in my opinion, which is why I never bought any. These on the other hand look much better, the design is cleaner and they just look and feel more like a finished quality product. Connecting them up is easy, as I mentioned they are extensions so you'll have to plug them into your existing PSU cables. Not ideal if you're using a small PC case, but there's plenty of room in the PCO11 Dynamic. Now something to note, depending on how you've got your graphics card mounted and where you plan to route the cable, you may end up with the LEDs on the wrong side. It shouldn't be an issue with a 24-pin cable because you generally just route that the same way in all cases. But in the case of my vertically mounted GPU, the lights on the cable would have ended up the wrong way round. Fortunately, Lian Li thought of a solution to this. You can actually remove the LED portion of the cable completely and flip it around the other way. It is a little bit fiddly to do, you have to remove each cable from the comb that it sits in, then you have to slide the lock-in buckle to release the bottom layer, obviously remove the 2 clear plastic clips as well, and then you have to flip everything round, put all your cables back in the comb one by one, refit the buckle and clips, and then do the top layer again. Like I said, it is a bit fiddly. I ended up using a car key to push in some of the cables because my fingers were hurting by the end of it. But yeah, once you've done that, you're all good to go. So as far as actually hooking up the RGB lighting goes, here's all of your potential setups. Number 1, let's say you just bought the 8-pin cable for your GPU, nothing else. Even though you won't have the RGB controller, you do get a cable that lets you hook it straight up to your motherboard via an addressable RGB header. Situation 2 is you've bought both the 8-pin and 24-pin kits and would like to use the included RGB controller for the lighting effects. Plug both the cables into the top of the controller and attach the included SATA power cable to the bottom left connector, ready to hook up to power. That's all you need. Number 3, you'd prefer to bypass the controller and use your motherboard's RGB software to control the lighting. No problem, in this case just plug in the included cable into the bottom middle connector and plug it into an addressable RGB header on your motherboard. And finally, the 4th option. Using this cable, you can actually run additional LED strips off of this controller. You'll want to plug it into the bottom left connector and then plug your addressable LED strips into it. So yeah, it's good to see that they included a bunch of cables to cover all bases. You can tell Lian Li have definitely thought it through this time around. So let's check out the lighting. Now I am only going to be using the RGB controller to showcase lighting effects, not my motherboard software. A, because Gigabyte RGB Fusion sucks, and B, because let's be honest guys, Lian Li built this RGB controller knowing exactly what these cables were going to be used for. So the effects have been handcrafted to look good for that intended purpose. If you hook them up to your motherboard, your software is basically just going to think they're generic addressable LED strips, and at least in my opinion, the effects are nowhere near as cool as the ones you can get out of the provided controller, so we're going to use that. There's 4 buttons on the controller. The top one is used to switch between presets. The bottom one changes the color of the current effect. By default, dynamic effects are rainbow, so if you decide you like the effect but want to change the color, you can do that no problem. The left button can be used to change the flow speed. There are 5 settings. And finally, the right button can be used to change the brightness. Again, 5 settings here. So as far as presets go, there are 18 altogether. Presets 1 to 11 are dynamic effects, while presets 12 to 18 are static colors. I'll show you them all now. So pretty amazing effects if you ask me, and plenty of them as well. They're really bright as well, probably even brighter than my Corsair RAM sticks, and yeah, I thought those were bright. Bottom line, should you buy these? Yes. Are they expensive? Kind of. Will they get you more FPS in games? Definitely. More RGB equals more FPS. For real though, I love these things. Ever since I installed them, I find myself staring at the PC more. They really do finish off a build nicely. They're definitely not going to be for everyone. They're very in your face and over the top, but yeah, good job, Lian Li. Good job. If you want to pick some up, guys, links will be in the description. If you got any questions or you just want to say hi, drop us a comment. I'll definitely get back to you. If you enjoyed the video, a like rating would be appreciated, and hit that subscribe button if you want to see more. With that being said, thanks for watching today. Have a great week. I'll catch you all in the next one.